This is what I woke up to today. Snow. And it is still coming down. I really don't want to have to ride in it if I don't have to, but I don't know what the forecast is doing. I don't know. I just really don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know when I'm going to leave. The storm system that's going through here, it's just hit and miss. It's in areas. It's not like it's a front just moving through. So it's snowing right now. According to my weather forecast on my weather app, it could be done by 8 or 9 o'clock. It could also change over to rain. So I don't know. It is supposed to be warming up. I figured it wouldn't stay too cold down here for very long. But right now we're at 34 degrees and it's snowing pretty good outside. In the next half hour it says that it's supposed to go up to 36. 8 o'clock is 38, 9 o'clock is 39. So I just don't know what I'm going to be doing. I could sit here pretty much all day, wait until checkout time, which I believe is around 11 o'clock. Again, they're still calling for scattered thunderstorms. And that's kind of the other thing too, is up north they're having rain and snow and stuff there too. I mean, it's basically one of those deals. I'm going to get cold and wet. That's all I can really say about it. It's just how long do I want to sit here and wait for all this, to try to clear up and warm up a little bit. My first stop is only a little more than an hour up the road. I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes. And that's Arches National Park. Which means I also would like to get out and walk around and see some of the arches. I've left this day a very short travel day. I'm only doing like 230 miles or something like that today. That reminds me, I didn't look at my numbers from yesterday. Let me go do that real quick. Okay, so I just went out and double checked my numbers on the bike. My total miles so far is 1,773.1 miles. So that's 1,773.1. And let's see. That brings my total today, or from yesterday, 360.4. So yeah, like I knew I was going to be spending a lot of time at destinations, so I am not doing a whole lot of miles. Like I said, even today it's like, I think it's like 204. No, it's. Hold on, let me tell you. Okay, so my full mileage for today, it'll probably be around 270 or something like that. So again, I'm not traveling a whole lot. It says here about 4.5 hours, a little bit more. I know it's also not taking me to the ends of the roads, and like I'm doing Arches National Park. Well, the visitor center is right at the entrance of Arches National Park. It's not actually accounting for the miles to drive into it. Same with the Canyonlands National Park. It's taken me to the Island in the Sky Visitor Center, but it's not taking me beyond that. And I'm going to try to ride all of it. At least that was my goal. But now with this storm coming in and passing through, it's kind of thrown everything up in the air. I don't know exactly what to do or where to go or anything like that. The joys of motorcycling. So yeah, I could get myself ready to go, get my bags on the bike, get everything all loaded up and ready to go. So once I feel that it's time, I just throw my gear on and go. Now the other thing is that Arches National Park doesn't open until 9 o'clock. So I'm pretty much stuck here at least until 8, and that's still another hour and a half away. Now I can go find some breakfast or something like that, of course, but again, do I really want to ride around in this stuff? I mean, who knows? It could be done right now, while I was talking to you. At least this room had a coffee maker. Not bad. Kind of watered down though. Okay, so it is still slightly snowing outside. Not as heavy as it was maybe about 15-20 minutes ago, but it's still coming down. I have noticed also a warming of the air temperature. Now, I don't know if it's just because I was moving around and working a little bit, getting the bike ready, or what, but I just feel like it was a little bit warmer. So, I'm just at a loss. I don't really know what to do. I went to a place called the Peace Tree for dinner last night, and they open at 7 for breakfast, so I might just ride down there and loaf around, eat some breakfast. If the bike gets a little wet, it gets a little wet. I'm not worried about that. Basically, my only concern is, with the cold temperatures that we had, I want to make sure it warms up enough to where everything's starting to melt and stuff. I don't want ice on the road. That's my main concern. Comfort is after that. I've ridden in cold weather. I've done it several times. I did it coming home last year from Oregon. It's just not a lot of fun to do. I'll do it if I have to, but it's not that fun. But for right now, I think I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to drink some coffee. We'll give it probably another 15-20 minutes just to see what happens. Okay, only about 15 minutes into my ride, I was out of the clouds and dropped down. It's actually pretty nice. It's cold, but it's nice. No rain, no snow. And the views are really, really good.
Okay, so I made it to Arches National Park. I already got through the gate and everything with my pass that I got. I'm at the visitor center. I'm going to go get my book stamped. Of course, I gotta find my shot glass. Hopefully, they'll have something. Yeah, I gotta take care of the important stuff first. But yeah, then the road kind of goes around over there. And it goes up that direction up there. So I gotta look at a map too and find out exactly what I want to go see and everything. I kind of had an idea a little bit, but now I gotta finalize everything. All right, let's go inside. This is what they call the Garden of Eden. Down this road here, just where that truck has gone, it's double arches, so I'm going to try to get down there. There's been a lot of traffic coming through here, so I think it's going to be pretty busy down there. Okay, I'm at the double arch. I'm gonna walk a bit for this one, so, but you might be able to see it. It's right over there. But I tell you, there's a little loop in the driveway here, and I probably saw maybe close to a dozen arches. I mean, just from the roadway. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. See an arch up there. And the double arch is over there. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so I was walking up to the double arch. So you can see the main arch here. You can see the secondary one there, but right there, that one little shiny spot, there is an arch inside the arch. Cool. I think it's cool too. Right next to double arch, you got these caverns that are getting hollowed out slowly and slowly. Someday that might be a new arch. Alright, here's a size comparison for you. Here's the arch, and people are climbing down it. There's the people. There's the arches. These things are huge. I could spend some more time here and climb up into them and stuff like that, but that's not my thing. So I'm done at double arch. I'm going to go over and see what these other arches are. People are around those too, so since I'm here, I might as well. So if you come here for a visit, there's two parking places here, two parking lots. One's up at the top of the hill, and then one's down here. Now, everybody seems to clamor for the spaces up in that top one. But if you want to see double arch, the bottom one is your better choice. Sorry I'm breathing a little hard. I just came up those steps from the lower parking lot. It kind of kicked my butt. Whew. Anyway, in this loop here from the upper parking lot, there are three arches. You have the Tort Arch, then you have the South and North Arch. So those are the three we're going to see next. Alright, I don't feel so bad. There's a lot of people walking around over here that's huffing and puffing. The little rock in the background poking its head out. Kind of looks like a little monster. Almost looks like King Kong looking through it or something. Not nearly as big as the double, but still pretty good size. Just down the way, there's another arch that's slowly being made. I found out too, I don't know if you can see it, when it's just a small little hole going through the rock, that having a big arch like that. Those are called windows. So the turret had an arch and a window. Now over there, that little beam of light that you see, that's a window. That's not an arch. Okay, so if you didn't catch what I was talking about, that little beam of light right there, that's a window. That's not an arch. However, this big one here, if that were to open up, that becomes an arch. Okay, so I'm pretty much done here. A double arch in the turret, north and south arches. I actually need to get back to my bike. I left my black leather jacket there, and it's got my bike key and my wallet in it. I'm stupid. The good news is the bike is still there. So now I just hope the wallet's still in there. Kids, don't do what I do. The next official destination, I think, will be the Delicate Arch. I think I'm going to do the lower system because it's supposed to be a little easier. The high view, I guess, is pretty difficult for a hike. I'm not going to do that in biking boots. Of course, I'll take any pictures I see along the way. Okay, so I'm down here at the lower Delicate Arch parking lot, and it's supposed to only be maybe a half-mile walk to get to the arch. So I heard this is supposed to be the easy one to do, so that's what I'm doing. I also remembered this time to grab my wallet. Still left the key in my pocket though. I don't think I'll have any problems. If I was parked downtown in the middle of a city somewhere, yeah, but not here. Okay. Okay, all those rocks on top of the cliff there. And all that cluttered stuff is the arch. That is Delicate Arch. I could have gotten closer. In fact, there is, as you can see, people walking. And it will go all the way up to the point up here. The trail basically leads where those people are on the red rock up there. But that's as close as you can get. And honestly, I actually walked all the way up there and the view wasn't that great. There is another trail. Technically where I'm at right now is the lower. And then there's the trail where the people are up on the red rock up there. That's the higher view. And then there's another trail that goes all the way up to the top, and you can actually get up by the arch, but that's like a 3-hour hike just to get there, so I'm not doing that. So I think my day here in Arches is done. I gotta get on the bike, go hunt down some lunch. Might have to go back into Moab to do that. Hey.
Hi.
So I might have to go into Moab to get some lunch. I don't think there's any type of cafeteria here at the park. It's coming up on like 12 o'clock and I'm getting hungry. Let's go find some food. Okay, I made it to Canyonlands National Park. Going to go. Oh shoot! You know what? I gotta go back to my bike. I forgot my passport book. Then we'll go inside the visitor center, and get it stamped. I don't think I'm going to spend a whole lot of time here because I spent a lot of time over at Arches. So, all right, let's go. I've been busy. April 30th, May 1st, May 1st, May 2nd, May 2nd. And then, of course, the Harry Truman, that was on a different area, so that was on a different page. So I got to figure out what exactly I'm going to do, what I want to go see. Like I said, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time here because just looking around, there's like rain everywhere. I mean, all that stuff over there is all rain. There's stuff over there that's rain. There's stuff over there that's rain. Okay, I'm kind of alone in this little spot. Got this beautiful view. But let me kind of explain to you something that happened. After I was getting done with Arches, I was leaving the park and it just started to rain. So I did no filming on the way out of the park. Got to the closest restaurant. I think it was called Atomic. And placed my order, ate my lunch. Went to go pay, and the guy comes back saying, "I'm sorry, but your card's been rejected." And, what do you mean? And he says, "We're getting fraud alert." So I immediately called my bank and told them what had happened and what the guy said to me. And the lady sat there and she was on the phone, and it took us a long time to get through this whole process. But basically what it was is that some pre-authorization charges for like when I go to gas stations to fill up. You know, sometimes they put down $100, but then only, you know, after a couple of days they only charge you what you actually put in for the gas. You know, I don't know why the system works that way, it just does. But, so anyway, she was sitting there saying that, you know, she wanted to make sure that these charges were right and stuff like that. And like I said, we eventually found out that those were just pre-authorization charges. It didn't actually say that on the transaction. It didn't say pre-auth for this amount. So basically all she was doing was saying that, okay, they were in your, what do you call it? It was kind of in that limbo state where it's on your account, but technically the money hasn't been taken out of your account. So as she looked into it, she says, "Well, it looks like these are all pre-authorization charges." And I said, "Okay, well, that's good." And she goes, "Yeah, I'll make a note on your account, and everything should be good to go." So I hung up with her and I handed my card to the guy at the restaurant, the waiter, and he took the card, came back, said, "No, it's still declined." It's like I just spent an hour on the phone with this girl trying to get my account straightened out, and now it's still declined. So I don't know if it's just got to have time to process through, saying that the card's okay, because I even got a call while I was on the phone with the bank. I actually got a call from their automated fraud alert system stating that I needed to call the bank and get it straightened out. Well, the funny thing is I just kind of ignored that call. And then when I was done with her, I was like, well, I wonder what that missed call was. I went back and I listened to it, and that's what it was. It was the fraud detection alert system, saying basically call it. I called the number, gave the case number, and it said, no, it's all been taken care of. Everything's good to go. But for some reason, my card was still declined when I went to go pay for my lunch. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. It kind of got me in a bummed mood. But this view here sure puts me in a better one, I tell you that. I'm going to sit here, marvel at God's beauty. I don't think I'm going to do too much riding into the park. It's mostly because I've done so much riding in Arches, and then I had to backtrack to go get lunch. I actually went back into Moab, and then driving out here, I'm down to probably a little less than half a tank, and I just don't know how far in I want to go, because I still have to drive out, which is about 25 miles just to get out of here and onto the main roads. And then I gotta find a gas station after that. So yeah, I think this might just be the only part of Canyonlands Park I'm actually going to see. But you know what? I'm still happy with this. Nope, I'm not doing that. No way in hell. As I was leaving, see those people over there? There's a little placard sign that says on a clear day you can see for 152 miles off of that little plateau there. Pretty nice. Alright, I have decided I'm going to just turn around, get out of here, and go find a gas station. I wasted so much time trying to get all the debit card information straightened out, and then, you know, just all that other stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna start heading out and getting to my hotel, because I've still got about a 3-hour drive to that. All right, let's go. It's views everywhere. I mean, they're just spectacular. A few times it kind of levels off on a plane, but then other times it's just like this. It's quite an amazing experience riding these roads. Alright, I gotta go, gotta get gas. Okay, all that dark shit, I just drove through that. So I think I've officially covered all weather scenarios. I've done freezing temperatures. I've done 100+ temperatures. I've done sunny days, rainy days. I've driven in snow, sleet, and now because of this, I've driven in hail. And that hurt like a son of a bitch. Oh well. I need a new battery in my GoPro. The storm and the battery for the GoPro wasn't the only reason I stopped. I wanted to stop and show you these cliffs back here. Those are pretty cool. Look how thin those lines are. Look how thin those lines are and those layers. That is so cool. I've actually got my alarm turned off on my phone because I'm getting tired of waking up so early in the morning. I got about a 6-hour ride tomorrow, and we're going to be hitting Capitol Reef, and I'm thinking Bryce Canyon as well. So those are the two places that we're going to see tomorrow. It almost seems like Mother Nature just doesn't want me to do this trip. Having to deal with 2 days of wind, and then today when I started out it was snowing, and then it turned to rain. The day went pretty good though. I mean, 15 minutes after I left the hotel room, the snow and the rain were gone. You know, I dropped that far in elevation in just like 15 minutes that all the clouds and everything were above me then. So that was quite amazing. Got all the way to Arches without an issue, no rain or anything like that. And of course went around, got my pictures, saw a lot. But I mean, I didn't even come close to seeing all of it. I mean, there's just so much to see. You know, I stopped. Basically, there's like 3 turns, you know, 3 major roads, and I stopped at the second one. You know, the first one was going down to the double arch, and then the second one took me down to delicate arch. And the view on that one was so. Of course, you know, if you want to walk 3 hours, you know, and hike, and then you can get up and go see it. But you know, I'm just not ready to do anything like that. But if I would have kept it going down the main road, that would have gone to I think it's called Devil's Garden, and there's a bunch of stuff down there. And there's a few things that I would like to have seen down there, but I was just losing a lot of time and stuff. I needed to get going. So after Delicate Arch, I left. And then as I was leaving, I was probably, I would say I was probably close to 2/3, if not 3/4 of the way out of the park, and it came down. It started raining hard. I didn't have anything on. I didn't see the rain coming. It just all of a sudden hit, and I was getting hot going around Arches National Park, so I had taken my dickie off. I took my my blue hoodie jacket off. I took my cold weather gloves off and put my regular gloves on. The only thing I still had on were my chaps. So it was chaps, leather jacket, and warm weather riding gloves. And yeah, it started to come down in buckets. I mean, by the time I got to, basically my idea was I was going to leave Arches National Park and go get lunch, which means I got to kind of backtrack into Moab in order to do that. But I figured, you know, I'll just go to the first restaurant I see. And, but by the time I get to the restaurant, the front, because my jacket, how it's open up towards the top, my shirt down the middle was all soaked. And it actually went all the way down to my crotch. So I basically had water just go straight all the way down. But then it's almost like as soon as I got to the hotel, it stopped. It stopped raining. So I went inside, you know, I took all my electronics with me and stuff like that so they weren't outside, you know, possibly getting rained on. And had a good lunch. I don't think I took a single picture of my lunch. Normally I take pictures of my food just because I want that for a remembrance for myself. But I went and, you know, I finished off my lunch and I went to go pay, and the guy comes back saying that my card was declined, and I was like, no, there's plenty of money in that account, you know, there's something else wrong. He goes, no, it's saying that it's fraudulent. I was like, what the hell? So I got on the phone right away and called my bank, and the waiter was actually quite helpful. I mean, he wasn't rude in any way. you know, I told him, let me call the bank and get it straightened out. He's like, oh, that's fine. You know, he wasn't rushing me or anything like that, saying, no, you got to either pay and get out or, you know, stuff. So anyway, I talked to the girl, and she had, there were basically three things that were popping up that they thought were fraud charges. Well, it ended up being they weren't fraud at all. They were pre-authorization charges. But the amounts were kind of odd. One was $100 even, and they're all for gas stations. So one was $100 flat, which I've seen that one before, so that one should have been an issue. There was another one for like $75, and then there was another one for, get this, $125.18. How the fuck is that an authorization charge? Normally it's a nice round amount, you know, like $100 or something like that. But I just couldn't believe it. But you know, I was talking to her the whole time, and she's, you know, telling me what she's looking at and stuff like that. Finally, it ends up coming back that she determines that these are just pre-authorization charges because they're posting to my account, but they're not withdrawing the money out of the account. She goes, so probably in a day or so they'll probably just fall off. And so yeah, it was just ridiculous. So anyway, she got it all straightened out. I said, okay, so everything's good to go. I can use the card. She goes, yeah, I got, you know, a note here saying that everything's good and everything on my end looks good. And so yeah, you should be able to use it. And so I hung up with her, and I gave the waiter my card back, and he came right back saying, no, it was declined again. It's like, I just got done talking to the bank on the phone, and we just got it all cleared out. And so I ended up just giving them another card to them. It's a card that the money comes out of a family account. And that went through just fine. Well, now I'm kind of upset about, you know, this debit card situation and stuff, and it took so long for this lady to figure all this out that now I'm feeling rushed. I mean, this was the day that I shouldn't be feeling rushed. And I kind of wasn't thinking, I was already down to probably close to half a tank. Actually, I think I was just above half a tank. And then I went all the way to Canyonlands. And that, of course, takes, it took me probably about a quarter of a tank. It took me a good gallon and a half of gas just to get there. So I go in, I got my stamp in my book. And I was looking at the map, trying to figure out if there's anything I can go see. But I'm keeping in mind, I've only got probably close to maybe 2 gallons. I'm thinking more like a gallon and a half, but maybe up to 2 gallons. And I was like, God, I just don't know if I can really go see anything, because these roads are just, you know, a half mile that way and then a mile down that way. They're like, you know, it's going to take you 15 miles that way. Then it's going to go off this way for another 15 miles. You know, it's just unbelievable the amount of territory these national parks are covering. You know, Arches National Park, it was literally probably, I think it was a 30-minute drive from where I left to get all the way out again. You know, when I left the parking for the Delicate Arch, it took me almost a half an hour to get out of the park. And then, so yeah, then Canyonlands was basically the same way. And I was like, I just don't think I have enough gas to really go see anything. And then also get out and get to a gas station. So I was like, you know what? With all the lost time that I had, and now I got questions about my gas, I just decided I'd play it safe and leave right away. So that's what I did. Put in my hotel here as my destination, but I needed gas, so I found a gas station. The gas station that I found was charging $5 a gallon for 91 octane gas. It's like, what the fuck is that all about? I mean, just about everybody else is like maybe 340, 350, 360, somewhere in there. He was at $5 a gallon. You know, and if I knew that I could get to another gas station, I would have done it in a heartbeat. But it was the closest and only thing that I could really get to in order to get, you know, where I needed to go. So you basically you bite the bullet and just pay it. However, it was a good thing that I stopped there, because when I stopped off at the Arches and Canyonlands visitor centers, neither one of them had shot glasses. And as you know, I collect shot glasses. Well, I went into the gas station to use the bathroom, and as I came out, I saw a little trinket stand, and they had shot glasses on there, and one caught my eye that said Arches. So I picked it up and I looked at it, and here it is, a shot glass for the Arches National Park. Of course, I had to go through all the other ones just to make sure they didn't have a Canyonlands as well, but they didn't, unfortunately. So at least I got an Arches National Park shot glass. But then, in order to get here, I got up on I-70, which of course is 80 miles an hour. And so it was going to take me, I can't remember how far out. It was basically having me stay on I-70 for, I think it was a little more than an hour. And then I was going to have me get off. Well, I was seeing road signs saying that part of the interstate was actually going to be closed for some sort of construction or something like that. Well, all of a sudden my GPS took me off of the interstate and put me on, what was it, State Highway 24, I think is what it was. And it was a beautiful ride until probably about, let's see, it was going to be close to 2 hours on State Highway 24, and about 30 minutes into it, I started driving into a rainstorm. Not just rain, but also hail. I've never ridden in hail before, and yeah, that hurt. And again, it was one of those things that, being how I was dressed, I wasn't expecting that. You know, I knew I could see it coming, and everything in my brain was telling me, you know, you need to stop and put on your gear. And I just kind of ignored myself, and I just kept on going. And next thing I know, I'm getting shot with these little hail pellets. You know, and I'm doing like 70 miles an hour, and all I got on is a leather jacket. Now the leather jacket's nice, but you're still going to feel hail through the leather jacket. I was feeling them through my chaps. I was feeling them through my gloves. You know, the ones that really hurt are the ones that would hit me around the neck area. Those hurt quite a bit. But anyway, I kept on going, got through the hail didn't last long, luckily. Luckily, the hail didn't last long. I was out of it in just a couple of minutes. And then it was almost like I was driving through the eye of a storm. All of a sudden it was, kind of calm. I really wasn't getting rained on. The pavement was even dry. And so I was making some good time. And then, of course, I came up to another area where the rain was coming down. And again, it started to hail. So I got hit with hail twice. Luckily, neither one of them really lasted that long. The second one did last longer, and it was heavier. I mean, the hailstones were hitting like my windshield, and it was leaving, a splattered hail area that big on my windshield. Now the hail, of course, wasn't that big. The hail was probably about the size, of a pea or something like that. But when it hits the windshield, it just kind of splatters out a little bit. So luckily, again, that didn't last long. Got out of there, and I had a pretty good ride up until, I was actually going through, and I don't want to put it up on the video because I saved it for tomorrow, but the GPS actually took me through Capitol Reef National Park. And I didn't record anything in that park because I want to do it all tomorrow. So, I was looking at stuff going, oh my God, wow, look at it. But I just didn't record anything. I want to save it for tomorrow. But as I got probably, now that I think about it, I think I was just getting out. I think I was just a couple of miles away from the national park territory line, and it started raining, and it started raining hard. And finally, I got out of the national park. I still had a 15-minute drive just to get here, and it rained the whole time. And I mean, it was raining hard and heavy, and I was just getting soaked and drenched. And then finally, as I was coming into the little town of Bicknell, that's the town that I'm in. It's Bicknell, Bicknell. It started snowing. I hadn't seen snow all day except for in the morning. And then as I'm coming in to end my day, the last probably about a mile and a half, I got hit with so much snow. I was constantly, for a mile and a half, just constantly wiping my face shield, trying to keep it clear so I can see where the hell I was going. That was just nuts. So that was my day in a nutshell. Oh, and then to top it off, being it was snowing and cold outside and all my gear is wet and stuff, it's like, you know what, I just want to order a pizza and just sit in the room. I asked the lady running the check-in counter, I go, do you guys got a place in town that delivers? Oh yeah, you go Badger Pizza, they'll deliver. And she gave me the phone number and stuff. He's like, all right, I'll just go order a medium pepperoni pizza and call it a night. So I call him up and I ask him, I go, are you guys doing delivery? He goes, normally we do. He goes, I just can't tonight because one of the other restaurants here in town had a fire and they put them out of commission, so everybody's coming here. He goes, I'm just swamped. I can't send out drivers or anything. It's like, oh, fuck, I don't want to jump back on the bike and just to go get a pizza. Well, when I checked in, I noticed that she had a lot of grocery stuff in the lobby. She had she almost had a display case that you'd see in a store, one of those glass ones. She had ramen noodles and candy bars and just stuff like that all over the place. You know, I'm trying to think of everything that she had. Oh, and then she also had a freezer and a refrigerator. And they had sodas in the refrigerator. They had frozen sandwiches, frozen burgers, and stuff like that up there. I bought 2 cheeseburgers. Basically, it was like another one was like a McRib sandwich. Another one was there was a frozen burrito. I bought 2 little bags of Funyuns, 3 sodas, and a Snickers bar. And so yeah, that's everything that I bought, and I ate it all. I was so hungry and stuff from all that riding today and going through everything I just went through. I was just so damn hungry. So yeah. So that was pretty much my day then. I'm getting myself ready. Just things laid out. This room's kind of weird because the heater to the room is actually inside the bathroom. And so I've got it on as high as it goes. This is a big room. I mean, big. I mean, this is the bed closest to the exterior wall. There's about 10 feet from the edge of the bed to the wall. There's another bed right over here, and there's like 6 feet between me and that bed. Now the camera is basically right at the foot of this bed. It's about 10 feet to the wall behind it. And then on the other side of the queen bed over there, it's about 6 feet to the bathroom wall. So, I mean, this is a big room. But yeah, then they stick the heater in the little bathroom over there. I mean, there's no door. It's basically, it's not a bathroom. It's kind of like just like a wet closet. It's just got a sink in there. And there's no door. But why would you put the heater in a room that would contain, some of the heat? It's not really blowing all the heat into here. No, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Oh. Well, I think for the rest of the night, I'm just going to sit and watch TV. I've got my computer over there. Once I'm done uploading all this videos, all the videos on this camera here, I might pull up a movie or something to watch it. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of my day. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be another long video for our day, just because of everything I saw at Arches. Although I did spend a whole lot of time in the actual Canyonlands National Park. There was still a lot that I recorded on the GoPro and stuff like that. I mean, just because you're going into Canyonlands doesn't mean there's nothing else on the way there. Because there's like 25 miles from highway. Crap, I can't remember the name of the highway. But from the main road all the way to the visitor center of Canyonlands, I think it's called Island in the Sky Visitor Center. It's like 25 miles just to get to the visitor center. And so that's a lot of recording that I did. There was a lot of things, a lot of cool buttes and cliffs and stuff like that. So yeah, I've got quite a bit of footage. Okay, so at 2,084.2, that's my total mileage so far. Now minus my 1773.1 for my total mileage yesterday. So I only did 311 miles today. So actually that's about It's about 30 miles more than I thought I was going to have. I think I originally thought I was going to only have like 280. So I think a lot of that was just driving around Arches National Park. I truly think that was it. Because I think when I set it up, it was taking me to the visitor center and then leaving. It wasn't actually giving me any of the roads inside. So I had a few more miles than I actually thought I was going to. Alright, that's enough. See you guys tomorrow.